The predictions of the Bulgarian seer have been echoed by the inhabitants of different countries for more than 50 years. Ordinary citizens and famous personalities listen to the opinion of the blind clairvoyant, who is not with us for a quarter of a century. Many of them really came true. In the 70s, VANGA made several predictions about the fate of the United States, Ukraine, Russia, and the world in 2024, and whether Russian President Putin will remain in power. VANGA's prediction for the U.S. All of VANGA's prophecies about the future of the United States are based on images that came to the clairvoyant. In this regard, people often interpret what they heard in their own way. The catastrophe in New York, September 9, 2001, was predicted by VANGA allegorically. In this regard, no one gave much importance to her words. However, everything happened as the Bulgarian woman predicted. Since then, Americans have been scrutinizing every word of VANGA's predictions about the United States. VANGA about the 44th President of the United States. It came true that the 44th President of the United States will be a black man. Barack Obama came to power, which was a big surprise not only for Americans, but also for the whole world. There was a version that the black man was a president with impure intentions, but in no way of the Negroid race. The policy of the Obama administration did not suit many people, and the version about the black soul of the president also took place. VANGA spoke about America quite discreetly, but mentioned the weakening of the influence of the state on the world stage. And so it happened. Barack Obama's strategy of governing the country greatly undermined the authoritarianism of the country in the eyes of other states. The last president of the United States, despite the fact that in the prophecies Obama was mentioned as the last president, the blind woman dropped a few words about his successor. She did not refer to the successor as president, but called him a temporary administrator. We are talking about Donald Trump. Based on the words of the clairvoyant, there is a version that Trump for the second time will manage the country for a very short period of time. VANGA spoke about America and, in the context of armed conflicts with states that profess Islam, military actions in Iran and Syria, as well as in other countries, are indirectly related to the United States. VANGA's predictions about America are already coming true. Judging by the situation in Europe, namely the large influx of immigrants professing Muslims, the prophecy about America's war with Europe will soon come true. According to the clairvoyant, the war will begin with Ukraine and will move to the neighboring states of the Eurozone. Russia's influence on the positive outcome of events in Ukraine is not excluded, but Russia will prefer not to get involved in military actions on the territory of the European Union. As a result of the U.S.-Muslim conflict, the U.S. will disintegrate into separate states, as it happened with the Soviet Union. What awaits America in the near future and whether it will emerge victorious from the war with the Islamists? These questions VANGA preferred not to answer. She said only that the United States would use a new generation of weapons that would wipe out the entire population of Europe. How this prophecy is related to the collapse of the United States is not yet clear. But all sorts of communities to decipher the predictions of the Bulgarian clairvoyant, dismantle the components of each of her words in the hope of making a correct prediction of what will happen to America in the future. The possibility of a change of power in Russia. One of VANGA's 2024 prophecies for Russia is that the current leader will leave office. It is difficult to convey verbatim what the clairvoyant meant, the physical death of the president, or his resignation. The woman did not specify this information. She only indicated that Putin will return to Russia when everything is well in Russia and the country will become more powerful. Experts' opinions on VANGA's predictions for 2024 regarding the change of power are divided. Some believe that Putin will go to the polls again, and others claim that he will again make Medvedev his successor. And, according to the third, the Russian leader will be another, completely unknown to the general mass of people. There is a version that the new president of the Russian Federation will pursue approximately the same policy as Vladimir Putin. How sounded the prediction of VANGA for 2024 verbatim? Knew only the seer herself. Only different interpretations have reached us. It is impossible now to check which expert more correctly conveys the information. Perhaps, mentioning a strong Russian ruler, the woman meant not only Putin, but also other people who will rule after him. She often said the name Vladimir, but it could have been veiled. Or it could have referred to other political figures in the country. To verify what the prophetess meant, we can only wait. For example, researchers did not attach importance to her words about the large number of military casualties on the part of the Russian Federation in 2020 to 2022. Now it is clear it was about the events in Syria and Ukraine. VANGA's predictions for 2024 regarding Ukraine. The clairvoyant often predicted the future using metaphors and allegories, without mentioning specific people or places. For example, about the conflict in Ukraine, she said something like this: on the territory of the Black Sea country, in the 21st century war will begin. The seer predicted the beginning of the confrontation in Donetsk and Lugansk regions, which, in fact, divided the country into two parts and led to further armed clashes. There are experts who said that VANGA saw exactly in 2020 for the resolution of the conflict. According to her, this will be the merit of the new president of Ukraine. It is not yet known who he will be by then. In 1993, Ukrainian journalist Konstantin Dolgov visited the prophetess. The prophetess told him that around the 20s the earth would turn black and mix with blood, and for 7 years there would be no peace on it. You will flee as others are fleeing, she told the journalist. According to her, peace in Ukraine will come when another ruler takes it under protection. VANGA saw the reasons for the problems in the neighboring territory in the change of power. According to her prediction, the people will choose a young and well-known leader, and at first his speeches will be liked by all, and then the turmoil will begin. We can already say that the prophecy has come true. In the key of military events, VANGA mentioned Russia as a country defender and intercessor, which will unite the two states. According to experts, the exact dates she did not mention, but indicated 2027 as the final year. Most likely, the hostilities themselves will not last that long, but it will take time to restore destroyed cities and internal order in Ukraine. VANGA said what Russia will do in 2024. According to the seer, in the period of 2022 to 2024, there will be events after which a new world order will be established. Russia will play not the last role in this. Some countries will increase their influence in the international arena, while others, on the contrary, will lose it. Before this, there will be several armed conflicts, shortages of products, new diseases. In general, the period will be a real test for the population of the earth. The clairvoyant said that 2024 will be difficult for the Russian Federation, that the state will be able to show resilience and strength. According to her, Russia will have to sacrifice a lot, and it is worth fearing not external, but internal enemies. From VANGA's predictions, it follows that America will cease to be a world leader. To this will lead to conflicts in different countries, including religions. They will occur, first of all, in the states of Europe and North America. There will also begin a strong economic crisis. If to believe the Bulgarian leading lady, exactly for Russia 2024 will be a turning point. With it, other states, which will recognize its force, will begin to cooperate. RF will come to the first position in the world, and its opponents will be defeated. The Russian government, according to the prophetess, will have to feed other countries where hunger will rage. It will unite with countries that are separated by water, thanks to which it will eliminate a serious conspiracy. Predictions of VANGA touched not only Russia and Europe, also Bulgarian seer mentioned and about America. Predictions about this country is very few. Vangelia did not like to talk about the U.S., but a few interesting predictions she still made. These are VANGA's prophecies for 2024, which should not always be taken literally. They have reached our time through many people. Experts interpret the words of the seer in their own way, and are often wrong. But Many predictions did come true, such as the coronavirus and the global crisis in the economy. Perhaps her statements about the future of America and the world in 2 years will also be true. We have to wait and hope for the best. In the meantime, subscribe to our channel. A lot of interesting things are waiting for you.